What's going on, buddy?
Hey
Uh,
man, how's it going?
oh man, it's another Saturday, man. Like being laid up, man. So you know,
Yeah, yeah. Let the healing process begin, right?
yeah. I'm feeling a little better today. That anti-inflammatory I got put on was it seems to I don't know helping out a little bit, man. So yeah,
So,
I was going through our live last night, man, and it looked like just specific stuff got cut out of it. It was weird, and
yeah,
I wanted to just kind of pop in and kind of do a repeat and see what happens. I'm watching the stream quality right now, zero drop frames, just like last night. Want to see what happens, but since we, several things, key points got cut out of that, I figured maybe we could rehash it and maybe talk about the upcoming Thanksgiving too, right? I mean, we are
I'm all
wanting people to
man.
show up to the city council meeting, Mark. So show up armed,
Absolutely.
ready to go, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So, hey,
Sure, it's all right.
if you tuned in, drop us a one if you can hear us all right. Uh, Let us know that you're out there. Say hi. Where you from? We're gonna interact with you. Uh, we're gonna open up the phone lines here too. Okay, I did just see a little bit of a blurb on Facebook just a second ago. So I wonder what's going on. We're gonna find out. We're gonna get to the bottom of this, buddy. But yeah, we're over to the
It's a
phone lines
conspiracy, man.
here. If you guys feel like calling in and smack talking us, because I've been getting smack talked over on Nextdoor app. Somebody said I'm doing my fair share of trying to sabotage the election, right? Because I have an opinion, I guess, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but most of it's fact, right? So, I mean, we'll
I'm
see
not
what
using
happens.
public office and my public position to make endorsements for candidates, so I wouldn't say I'm sabotaging the election.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into that. Hey, I wanted to let you know, and I just posted some stuff on turkeys. I got my turkey this morning. Anybody that hasn't got their turkey yet or has got their turkey, get those babies out of the freezer. I just posted some stuff on our page, so it's going to be thawed in time. Or buy the fresh turkeys. I brought a frozen turkey this morning, grade A, from Walmart there in Pineville, 98 cents a pound. If
Nice.
you like fresh turkeys, they have them there, $1.98 a pound. So I'm excited, man. I don't know. I love the sides. I'm telling you, man. It's a great time of the year. You know,
What kind of size you like, brother?
man. Stuffing, the mashed potatoes are got to be a go-to. I gotta have the real cranberries, man. I
I'm
break
not a
them down.
cranberry fan,
I
man, at
know I'm not
all.
either, but this is what I do, man. I get the real cranberries, man. I put them in the frying pan and I put the sugar in it and it breaks down naturally. I can't buy that gelatized canned cranberry stuff.
It's a little.
Dump it out. Yeah, yeah,
Isn't that
man.
Jello?
And you just slice it. I mean, I can't do that, man. But here's the problem, man. I'll go in there that first round, and I know there's people out here that do the same thing as I do, man. I load up that plate, man, right?
Hmm.
And I the potatoes, the green bean casserole, the sweet potato, the mash, the turkey, the gravy. I got it all piled up, man, right?
Yeah.
And I just start eating away, right? And I'm like, well, I feel full. No, I'm gonna get more. I go and double down, man. I double down. Every year it's the same thing, man, you know?
Yeah. It's
And
the
and I go back.
holiday of gluttony, man.
I know I go back and I fill up that plate again and I dust it. Then I'm
Yeah.
like, oh man, I'm like in comatose. You know what I mean? I'm like, I did it again this year. It's just like a every year it's the same thing, man. It's
Yeah.
just it's torture. But
I
I don't
I'm
even get
pretty
to the
good for like
pies,
one
dude.
plate. I'm pretty good for one plate.
Are
I'm not a dessert kind of guy. I don't really care for the
yeah.
sweet potatoes. But uh, somebody, Wendy, I'm sorry if I've been getting crap on next door. Yeah, well, I mean, people got their opinions, but like to sit there and say that, hey, you've been sabotaging the election. Everything I've stated has been fact or opinion, and I state this is my opinion. But I believe I've given everybody a fair shake. I'm not trying to put anybody as a front runner. I've made my statements on who I think would be a better mayoral candidate. But as far as city council candidates, I'm kind of letting people decide that and not really making endorsements on that. I'm not trying to say that people should go out and vote for somebody either, but I don't know. It's, people want to sit there and throw out an attack, but it's not based in fact. Please state, we can have healthy adult debates, period. Mark, you know what I'm saying? We can all have healthy adult debates, right? But like to sit there and just throw out something that's like, okay, thanks for the very the accusation with no context. Please elaborate.
I was trying to make that switch over because I was locked in with the apple pies and the pumpkin.
Yeah, I know, man. You're all like, man. you're in dessert mode.
I couldn't take it, man. And the other thing too is I throw beer in there on top of that. It doesn't help matters either, man. I probably hit about 500 carbs when I'm done. You know what I mean? I don't
throw the beer in until I'm done with the Thanksgiving dinner. Usually we go to family members for Thanksgiving, right? And so,
okay.
When you go to a family members, Thanksgiving is really about getting full and then fighting with your family members over something, right? Politics or sports or something like that. So I think it's a bad mix to throw in alcohol on top of it.
And in your case, a fist fight, right?
Yeah, possibly. Hey, it's been a minute since I've allegedly thrown a punch, but allegedly.
That's family love, man.
Yeah.
It's brother love. I can remember that.
Only in America, right? We all get together. We celebrate a holiday where we overtook indigenous peoples, and then we eat a bunch of food and then get in fights with each other.
That's the spirit.
Man,
man.
So did you? You said you bought your turkeys this morning?
Yeah, I got a frozen turkey this morning, and
how is the pickings of the turkey? Sonia said that she bought ours this morning too, and said it was kind of lacking early in the morning.
Yeah, so I was looking for something bigger. I got a 20-pounder. We got 6 coming Thursday, so that should be enough. I was looking at like 24, 26. Well, I usually like leftovers, man. So I get a larger bird, Most of them were 20 that were in there. Just the regular grade A, the honeysuckles, the frozen ones. Butterballs, I didn't look at them. So, but I think they were 20 cents more, $1.18 a pound for the frozen butterballs. But honeysuckle, I like. They do a good job with them. So,
so do you do yours in the oven, or do you how you do?
I got a roaster. I got a roaster oven.
Okay.
So I put it in a roaster oven. Yeah, it just knocks it out in no time, man. You know what I mean? I can get it done, a 20-pounder in maybe an hour and 50 minutes.
Really? Wow, that's pretty quick. Yeah. Christian Henningsen, he does his spatchcocked his turkey last year. He said it cooked real. I've done spatch-cooked
whole
chickens on the grill, and it does it cooks a lot faster, and it gets it like a really even cook on the middle of it too, man. Like if the bird's whole, you got some spots that just possibly aren't done enough, or then the outside starts getting dry. So we're doing turkey breasts this year, so I'm going to throw those on the smoker. So tomorrow, awesome. I'm sorry, Sunday they'll come out of the freezer. And then we will thaw them and then throw them in a brine for 24 hours. Rinse the brine and then toss them on the smoker. I've got some hickory. We'll do a little bit of butter injection, and then we'll smoke them for about 3 hours, and they're good to go, man.
Oh, those eat like money, man. Yeah. Those will eat like money.
Not a whole lot of leftovers, but we're doing a simple Thanksgiving this year. I know my mom wanted us to do something out in Springdale, but with the foot and my sister and her like 30 kids, and it's probably not a good idea to take my foot. I mean, for real, I think she's got like 7 or 8 kids. Man. I've lost count. I quit counting at 5, man. So
step on your foot or something, right?
yeah. I mean, it's just it's I don't know. It's too much chaos. Wendy said she's smoking their bird this year. Are you using charcoal, or are you using like a pellet smoker? How you doing that, Wendy? I have a pellet smoker, man. I love that Pit Boss thing. That thing is, you remember that thing's built like a tank. Almost threw my back out. Like, I still can't believe you talked me into not taking the trailer or taking your truck, man.
Oh man. Well, you know what it is? The thing's heavy, but it's just it's so big that it's hard
Yeah.
to maneuver, man. You
Yeah,
know?
it's awkward to try to get out, but I mean, like that thing's still rocking and rolling, man. That thing is,
Yeah. You
dude.
get your money's worth
Oh,
on
I
that, man.
use
You
it
can put
2 or 3 times a week, man. I mean, it's a
yeah,
perfect grill. And a
yeah.
bag of pellets, man, is it's pretty economical if you think about the cost of charcoal, and then like your wood chips, and then on top of it, you're having to buy lighter fluid and stuff to get your charcoal started.
Have you been
Those
mixing the mixing it up a little bit with like the apple and
Well, so I use a
mesquite?
blend. I get the competition blends. So like if
Oh,
I want
okay.
to hit it, but I do have hickory, straight hickory too.
Yeah.
But I'll use a competition blend. But then I have this smoker box that I put inside, and
Yep.
I fill it up with like straight like if I want cherry wood, I fill it up with there, and that gets a really good like flavor directly into the meat, while the rest of
Yeah.
the pellets are heating it up and stuff. So it does a good
Yeah.
job.
Sounds good, man. Yeah.
Yeah. The I think we were talking about sides. My sides are kind of my go-to sides are the stuffing. Right? I'm definitely a stuffing fan. I can remember my in-laws were like, "What stuffing? What? Like you eat stuffing?"
Do you stuff the bird or I used to put it in the bird, man. I used to stuff the bird, but last few years the
I
kids
like it right out of the pan, dude. It's fine in the
yeah,
pan,
yeah,
because you're cutting up the bird anyway, right?
right, yeah.
Are you a gravy fan? You like
Love
gravy?
gravy.
Gravy fan? Okay, I like the
Yeah.
gravy
Yeah.
too. So stuffing, gravy, turkey, mashed potatoes, the green bean casserole.
Casserole. Yeah. Oh
Uh,
yeah.
a
Oh,
broccoli casserole is real good too.
the one thing I throw in there and people are always like, what the hell is for some reason, man, I love turnip. I love turnips, man.
Turnips? I don't think I've ever
Yeah,
had
man.
turnips.
Oh yeah.
What is a turnip?
Some
Like,
people can't
what
stand
is
them,
it? I
man.
don't even think I've ever had a turnip.
Yeah, I had
Like
some turnips
that must
and
be where you originally from? Pennsylvania area? That must be
northeast.
that must be a
No,
northeastern thing.
my you know what? I never had it with my family though. My grandmother made it, used to
Really?
make it, and she was the only one in the family to eat it. But it's excellent, dude. It's really good, man. You
You,
know.
you know
But I like
who else
sweet
liked
potatoes.
turnips, right? Was Dwight from The
Huh.
Office, right? He had a turnip farm. Man. That should be your new nickname is Dwight, man.
Do I? Yeah,
uh,
it's it's like the person that likes the black licorice. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
just those odd things. It's weird, man. But
I
I'm
used to
only
be a
one.
fan of black licorice. I used to be a fan of black licorice. But yeah,
Yeah.
dessert wise, man, I mean, like, people are always offering me desserts. You want some cake or you want a cupcake? I'm not a big fan of that stuff, man.
I'm not
I think
either.
I just had like way too much peach cobbler and cherry pie and stuff when I was a kid, and opposite cake. It just kind of I burnt out on it as a kid, and
Yeah.
but
Sweet potato pie, pumpkin pie goes here, apple
uh,
pie. All three of those are
now
just
I can
like
get
they're
down with
big.
some apple pie or pumpkin pie. Uh,
Yeah,
with coffee every now and then, right?
yeah, yeah,
It's got to be in the right mood though.
yeah.
Gummy bears though, you can't keep them things around me. I'll clear a bag of gummy bears out in a heartbeat, man. I mean, like you can't keep them things around me at all. Now the kid and me, we battle over gummy bears, man. Like so,
Do you?
yeah.
Yeah,
So
good stuff.
I think we're gonna open up the phone lines and just let everybody have the opportunity to give us a call. I know we said some stuff last night about the city council work session. I know some of it may or may not have gotten cut out. I did want to kind of reiterate some of that stuff that you know that I believe that it's everybody's public right to go out and petition their government to do better, to ask better of them. But I don't want to sit there and beat a dead horse either. But we'll open up the phone lines. Let's go ahead and do that right now.
Yeah, call us or
Yeah.
shoot us a question. We'd like to know if you do things that with your family for Thanksgiving that's different, or certain foods that you enjoy, or
Yeah.
different things. We'd like to hear from you.
What is an odd tradition, right? That would be another one too. It's like, what is your Thanksgiving tradition that you do?
Uh, I mean, we just have the traditional dinner, and Christmas is a little bit different, but I don't, I mean, we used to go to football games, like high school football games and
Hmm.
stuff like that when we were younger. But we used to go out to the parks, go on a hike maybe early in the morning and stuff like that. We
Yeah.
usually do that or do something in the morning. But not consistently over the years like we used to, you know.
Yeah. I'm
We
trying to
like you
think
said,
of I don't know if we really have any like other than getting together with family. I mean, back when we were younger, you know, we'd get together at like grandma's, man, and then all the cousins would get out and play football or play some type of
yeah,
sport
tag
outside.
football.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
since becoming an adult and stuff, you know, I think the tradition is cook, uh, take something to mom's or not, but get together with family and then get in an argument with a family member. That's usually every Thanksgiving, man. Every Thanksgiving. That's probably the
Never,
tradition, right?
yeah, you
Uh,
just don't talk about politics. That's all.
Politics or you know, I pretty much yeah, that's pretty much it. Is somebody will pop off with politics, and then it just spirals out of control out of there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I always try to keep it on a good note, man. But you get that, you get your family and, sometimes you get a little sideways,
yeah,
so it happens
it
to
does.
every
I mean,
family.
everybody gets passionate about their stance and stuff, and you know, I get it, but not around family, man. Like my dad made sure that family is the most important thing. So we stick around with family, and even if you get in an argument with family, you can't choose your family, man. You gotta suck it up or bite your tongue and deal with it. Let's
Yeah,
see.
absolutely, man.
Wendy said she makes homemade noodles every Thanksgiving because her family was really poor and it was a cheap thing to make, so it got passed down through the generations. How do you make a noodle, man? Is it made out of like you make like kind of like a
I think like a
breading and then
dough
cut
or
it or
some.
something?
Yeah, I would
Huh.
think it's some kind of. I would think a dough. You just run it through and then cut up the dough and
Yeah,
make noodles.
I've never made noodles. Never really given it any thought how noodles are made either. I guess you
Yeah,
would have to make something and cut it and then kind of shape it and let it.
Italians do that. They
Yeah,
got their own. Well, a lot of Italians will use their fresh pasta machine there and run it through.
yeah, yeah,
I use the 99-cent box myself.
yeah.
Barilla.
Well, like I've been researching alternative foods because we have a there some people have gluten allergies, right? And
Right.
so I
Yeah.
like trying to find good gluten-free stuff in the stores is one, it's
It's
expensive
hard.
as all get out, right?
Yep.
But so I found this tapioca flour and rice flour recipe, and I do think I want to try to make kind of like a loaf of bread, but I'm wondering if you could substitute that tapioca flour for noodles as well. I wonder if that would
I
work.
don't know. It's worth a
Yeah,
shot, man. You
yeah,
never know. You
yeah.
know?
Yeah, I want to do some more baking in the pit pasta because you can bake in it, and I've got a bread
Yeah.
pan, so I was thinking maybe making some bread in the like
Oh, the other
some
thing we do
wood
is
fire
corn.
bread,
Baked corn, or
baked corn.
cornbread.
Oh, corn.
Cornbread.
Yeah,
Cornbread.
I like me some
Yeah.
cornbread. So you ever have pumpkin chili?
No, I haven't had that.
Okay, so pumpkin chili and cornbread is like the bomb, man. So
So what do you is it how when you say pumpkin, is it just the can you're mixing it
the
in
canned
with the
pumpkin
chili?
and you use some cinnamon and I got a
That
recipe.
sounds
We got a recipe we'll give you, man. You got to try it though,
that
man.
sounds good, man.
Sonya's made it twice. So we got turned on to that when we were at Silver Dollar City for the fall festival. They were serving, like you could buy pumpkin chili. Dude, I'm hooked on that stuff, man. I could eat that stuff year
That's
round,
good.
man. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So pumpkin chili and cornbread though, man. That's like you brought up cornbread and it just bam, pumpkin chili, man. So
Yeah. And I end up slathering that in with the butter too, man, on top of that. I mean,
hmm
if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out right, you know what I mean?
yeah. Hey, I reached out to a guy who owns a T-shirt business, man, and we were joking around about merch last night, but I think we might get some shirts made up and start putting out some merch shirts, man.
There you go, man.
We'll do
NW
some
Exchange,
donations.
man.
Proceeds go to some some new bougie coats for the POA or something like that. I don't know.
I had some used coats here, but this it's not gonna cut it with them, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
I don't
well, yeah, I know. But Salvation Army, I'm sure would take them if they're lightly used.
Yeah. Yeah, the only problem is that they're jacking the prices up over there, man, to sell them, and
Are they?
kind of defeats the purpose, man. You know?
You're thinking Goodwill.
Yeah,
Like
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Goodwill,
you're right.
Goodwill
Goodwill.
ticks me
Yeah,
off, man, because that's like
yeah.
100%
I'm sorry.
donation. But then you
You're
go in
right,
there,
Chris.
and they're some of their prices are just ridiculous for some
Yeah,
of the clothing, you
yeah,
know. And it's like, man, I don't know, but I like to go into Goodwill maybe once or twice a year and just check out stuff because it's kind of like sometimes depending on where you're at, it's like a flea market, you know.
yeah,
You can find
yeah,
some
for sure.
old cool stuff in there. So, should we play our little flaming reel, or should we hold off on that and just keep on being thankful for you know?
Yeah, hold off maybe for another day or two, and we'll
Okay.
revisit that. We got plenty of time.
Yeah, let me check our analytics real quick because I'm seeing 0% drop frames. So it'll be interesting what we see on the tail end of this once we come off of the live. I suspect that again, I suspect that somebody's throttling us.
Yeah, it's
Tommy's,
kind of irritating to be
yeah.
honest with you. You know?
Well, ever since that person had our video removed, they were like in Pakistan or India, and they said they owned the copyright to that music, which I actually have a copyright to the music. That's what really like kind of raised the red flag for me is like they are actively monitoring people that are picking up steam, so.
Right. Yeah, no doubt. Well, we might have to revisit that, man. You
Yeah.
know, unfortunately.
So it looks like we got possibly a couple additional viewers on there. If you're watching, say hi to us in the chat so we know who's watching. We'll say hi back if you want to interact with us or if you want to call us and talk with us about anything we've ever said on our podcast. 479-202-4053. Not going to make you state your full name, but we may, say, what do we call you? So.
We'll talk about anything.
Yeah.
We're open.
I'll talk to the wall, man, if it thinks I'm listening.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
0% drop frames, man. I'm amazed.
That's good.
And that's what we were seeing last night too. So that's what I just think maybe Facebook was having a problem, or maybe that Cox was having a problem. But I think I would see drop frames. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
Right. Right. Well, I mean, we're getting down on the home stretch, man. You know, it's hard to believe that, man, we're going into Thanksgiving and this week, and man, before you know it's gonna be Christmas and 2023, man. You know, it's just I can't believe it, man. It's just flying by, Man,
it's hard. Well, it's hard to believe we've almost been doing this a year, man. I think when did we start? I thought we started like
I think it was February.
Right? Yeah, February we started. So I mean, dude, we're coming up on a year of doing this show. And,
yeah, it's hard to believe it's gone by real quick, man. It really has.
But 2023 will bring, I think, more great things for the show. We're gonna start ramping up and doing some cooler stuff, especially after the selection cycle. So we'll see.
There's been, man, that's been a long, long run, and we're still going through it. So, man, hopefully, I hope we get a good turnout for that. I really do.
Yeah.
Regardless of how it plays out, I just hope people just come out and in droves and vote, man, because I think it's the right thing to do, man. It restores faith in the system.
Yeah. Did you? Thanks for reminding me. Let me get something set up. But I want to show you this, dude. So so we brought it up last night that Arizona hadn't been fully counted yet, right? And
there's a couple states that are still counting. It's crazy.
When in the heck did this? I mean, what the heck is going on? Like, I mean, it doesn't make sense anymore, man.
I know.
But there's this guy. He goes out to give me a moment to get this set up, and we'll cut over there because this guy goes into this board meeting and. I honestly can't believe that they let the guy continue talking. Well, I mean, I can because obviously, if you're going to allow somebody to exercise their freedom of speech, right? You can't cut them off when they're talking for their 3 minutes, right?
Was that the video? Oh, was it a video from Long Island? The guy from Long Island or
No,
something
this
like
was
that?
Arizona.
Oh, oh, okay.
But dude, this guy was really just having a straight up bad day. But at the end of his speech, it really took me back to that Willy Wonka movie. It really took me back. Let's see if this works, man. I'm gonna cut over to this real quick. And
Okay.
Morning. Mr. Baker. Good morning. Once again, the eyes of the world are upon the vote. Heavens no, for that would make me a terrorist, wouldn't it? Let me ask you, if you took your life savings to a bank and the teller put them in a machine and the machine kicked out 1 out of 4 of your bills and the teller said, "Don't worry, we'll put them in box 3 over here and we'll let you know how many were in there later. We'll send them off to a separate location and someone will be sure to get back to you and tell you how much money you have." Would you be okay with that?
let's get out of edit mode.
Mr. Baker. Good morning. Once again, the eyes of the world are upon Maricopa County for another botched election. Am I here to accuse you of stealing the vote? Heavens no, for that would make me a terrorist, wouldn't it? Let me ask you, if you took your life savings to a bank and the teller put them in a machine and the machine kicked out 1 out of 4 of your bills and the teller said, "Don't worry, we'll put them in box 3 over here and we'll let you know how many were in there later. We'll send them off to a separate location and someone will be sure to get back to you and tell you how much money you have." Would you be okay with that? No, you would not be okay with that. Now ask yourself the question, which is more valuable, your vote or your money? Now ask a lobbyist that same question. Now ask a campaign manager that question. Now ask Mark Zuckerberg that question, which is more valuable, your money or your vote or your country or this world or the corruption that is taking over every single county in this nation? And then you look into your own soul and you look back at yourself in the mirror and realize that you are the cancer that is tearing this nation apart. Good day.
Thank you. Good day, sir. Right? Like straight up Willy Wonka that, man. I mean, goodness.
It's funny, man.
But I mean, it's been over a week, man.
I know. Listen, man, it's gone, man. It's not coming back. I mean, it's just, they went through this. You figure it gets screwed up. It should be broken down, the reason behind it and fixed. Apparently it was never done, man. You don't go back and tune it up so it works the right way. I mean, it's crazy to me. It's like you go down the same road,
right? But I mean, seeing this gentleman come up there like that, it's just like, are people hitting a breaking point in these states, man? I'm starting to worry. I'm starting to worry, man.
But his points are valid, Chris. They're dead on. It's like, what kind of monkey show are you guys running here, man? I mean, pull it together. This happened.
I thought the guy was going to have a stroke, man. I mean, like, for real.
Well, having a tolerance. I mean, he's right, though. I mean, it happens. Fix it. Correct the situation. Then what happens again? The same thing.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. Well, if we weren't being monitored by Facebook after playing that, we may be being monitored.
But you know what, man? I get his frustration because that's how I look at it. I mean, if something gets screwed up, you want to fix it, man. You want to make it better. But to do the same thing over and over.
That's the definition of insanity, man. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results.
That's what that guy's saying. But you know what? What he's saying is falling on deaf ears.
Yeah. Well, it's unfortunate, man. Because I mean, you think about, we waited till almost midnight. Well, probably 11 to get the election results. Just in right. Where we live, right? These
Right.
people have been waiting over a week, man.
Yeah, it's just unacceptable. There's
Yeah.
no rhyme or reason to it. I mean, like he's saying, it's worse because this is the second time, man. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. It's not the first time. It goes back to patterns, right? Yeah, I mean, everything. I mean, when like I look at patterns, you know, I mean, I'm very very good at identifying patterns, you know, in computer systems or electrical systems. You know, I mean, that's kind of the engineering background. But when you start identifying patterns, that's usually a tell for either A, something's working right, or B, something's not right. So then you start analyzing the pattern and trying to find, you know, do root cause analysis. We have a pattern, but nobody's even trying to do root cause analysis. We know there's a
No.
problem, but we don't want to acknowledge that there's a problem.
Yeah. I mean, if those people were in the private sector, they would have been fired. I mean, you're just gone. I mean, it's unacceptable.
Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
right. You're
if
right.
that's your business and that happens,
Yeah.
you're going to sit down and find out why it happened. How do we correct it? But if that happens again after going through it, you're gone, man.
Well, did you see? Okay,
This
so
is-
you brought up private sector though. So you know, like, did you? I think you had it on our agenda yesterday. Was the Twitter employees suing Elon Musk for not giving them enough notification before they were terminated. Did you see that,
Right.
that news
Yeah.
article? Like I guess they were required to have like 90 days notice. I'm like,
yeah.
that must be nice because in Arkansas, being a right to work state, they can fire you for any cause. You know,
Right.
same day.
Yeah.
I've witnessed that.
That will. Yeah.
Yep. So
I think it's the Warren. It's called Warren, I think is what it's called. But I don't know all the details behind it, Chris. But the guy paid what, $44 billion. He can do what he wants with the company. I
well,
mean, it is
he
what it
paid
is.
$44 billion, but basically they said, well, that was contingent on him getting all the information right. They didn't want to give him all the information, so then he backed out. Then they forced him to buy it, so he purchased it. I think after that, didn't they try doing something where it required shareholder approval or something like that? You know, so it's
Yeah.
been an uphill battle. And then on top of it, you know, they're like, oh, well, this is going to be a horrible place to work. So he cans them. They're like, no, we deserve the right to work here still until we're ready to go. I mean, like, if it's that bad of a place, or if you know, again, it ties to emotion-based thought versus, you know, reality-based thought. Like some of the stuff that I'm seeing on, you know, social media regarding that news article and out-of-state money and stuff like that. It's like, if you actually remember going to civics class, you know, the system is set up to where it should be set up to where one man can't make the decision, especially the mayor, right? That's why we have a city council. The mayor is actually supposed to be the tiebreaker for any business the city does, right? Somebody
Right.
said, well, I'd be concerned about a mayor, you know, having a concrete company because, you know, our whole town's going to be concrete. Well, that might be a good thing for roads, believe it or not, but because this chip seal stuff doesn't last even 6 months to a year at best. But that's not how it works. That's not how the system works. I mean, there's acquisition rules and all that. But, you know, to think that one man could create a deforestation problem in Bella Vista, well, that's not based in fact, right?
Right.
You think that growth is going to create, you know, massive deforestation in Bella Vista. It's not based in fact. First off, the POA owns the majority of the wooded areas, right? So you can't, you know, like the city can't even just go in and start knocking down trees, right?
Right.
That would require the POA to do that. Builders, yeah, they can clear their lots,
Right.
but the city can provide proper oversight and ensure that those lots are being monitored while they're being cleared. There's so many things that people are just kind of irrationally worried about. That's not based in fact. Go back and read your civics book, or take
Yeah.
a civics class. You know,
Yeah. Especially up
understand how
here.
it works.
Right. Especially up here too. And yeah, the common property with POA, you have Cooper owns a lot of commercial property. So there's there's a lot of moving pieces,
Yeah.
and it's just like you said, you're not going to have a dictatorship. You're going to come in here. I'm going to make this a, concrete jungle now. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's just, I mean, it's hard enough to do like basic stuff with the the ACC, the POA, and then those two bodies, and then Cooper with their spite lines and stuff that they have in place. Because everything's kind of it's surrounded by Cooper property. So one way, shape, or form, you're going to have to cross over POA or Cooper owned property if you want to expand to get utilities put in and everything else, right? So it's already a challenge to do any type of growth. To think that one man can come in and get elected mayor, or a couple of people could get in city council that you don't want, and just overnight turn this into downtown Bentonville. It's not based in reality,
Well, I believe Cooper too and Randy. Randy is. I think they can put something together. I really truly believe that. I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. Cooper wants to build up the city, and I'm sure they're going to come together.
They also want to make a profit. Hey, that new business. I got to give a shout out to my wife. That new business that's coming on Monday about the zoning and stuff for short-term rentals. I got a question on that. What the little bungalow houses that they built off of Kingsland? The next to the church there, they're like little rental cabins.
The cabins, rental cabins, yeah.
I wonder if those are classified as a business or I know I believe they were only one lot, believe it or not, from the POA like asset looking at it. But
there's got to be. I don't know.
I wonder if that would be classified as a business or a short-term rental or what. Like, I wonder what that's currently zoned at. Because would that zoning impact them, or are they, or is that considered like a hotel?
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna what that would be, and
would it be considered commercial?
R1, R2, maybe they're rolling it in like that. I don't know. There's probably I don't even know how many areas, 8 or 10 of them out there, right? Something like that.
Probably 12. I think there's
probably
six to 8 on one side, and maybe 8 on the other side.
Yeah, it's more like they're occupants, so it's a nightly basis. So I would imagine it aligned more with a hotel style,
like a overnight lodging accommodation or something like that.
Right.
So that could be a commercial tax base right there if it's zoned.
And I don't know how much. I mean, I go by there a lot, and I only see a few cars here and there. I don't know what kind of business they're doing in there, and I know they charge a pretty good amount of money.
I think the money, like I think the last time we looked at them, I think it was right after they opened. We were looking at the price of them, and we're like, man, dude, you could get a VRBO for probably cheaper than that and have more space. Nicer accommodations and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, no. I guess now you can get it, but maybe not in the near future. So.
Yeah, it's true. Well, and you got those other, what are those other ones down in the campground there, man?
Yeah.
What are those other?
Those little yurt cabins. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wendy said if people need something to do with guests in Bella Vista this week, there's 10% off of all food sales on Tuesday, 11/22 at Highlands Pub and Patio. And it goes back to Cooper Elementary, so support the Cooper Broncos. Heck yeah, man.
Cool.
Is that just at Highlands Pub and Patio? Dude, that's so far away from me to go out there, dude. I've never been there.
Yeah.
It's so far out there.
I wonder if it would be they should do it at all of them, Lake Point and Country Club. Yeah, Country Club to us is closest, Yeah.
I think the food at the Country Club is good, man. I like their Reubens. Have you had the Reuben sandwich?
No, I remember you told me that before. Yeah. I love Reubens,
dude.
Man.
That's a good. They do a good job on their Reuben sandwich out there.
Yeah, we got to get out there.
She said it's just there at Highlands Pub. Well, if you're out on that side of town, get out there to the Highlands Pub on Tuesday. You get 10% off, and get some of that money back to Cooper Elementary, man. Support the Broncos, man. So, yeah, the Cooper does a lot of good things, man, for the kids out there. We were a little apprehensive about Gunnar going to school there. you know, he was going to Arkansas Arts and stuff, but it just didn't make sense for him to be commuting that far every day.
Yeah.
But he seems to be doing pretty good out there in that school, and the school seems to be pretty good, man. You know, so
Cool. Good deal, man.
he's got
Well,
10 minutes to the school on a bus, man. He gets to ride a bus, you know. So they do a good
yeah,
job of
every
pick up and
morning
drop off.
I see the Facebook people pictures and videos of people. He cut in front of me, or she cut in front of me, and
Oh
I
gosh,
can't get there. And I mean, it's like a
yeah,
circuit.
traffic's a nightmare, dude. It's always been a nightmare, though. You know,
It's
getting
never a
out of
dull
Bella
moment
Vista
on
is like I could not imagine commuting to Fayetteville like I did years ago. You know, I couldn't imagine doing it today, man. You know, like it's just traffic has gotten so much worse.
Well, I don't know if someone's got to have the answer out there, but it seems like the traffic is increased dramatically when the bypass went in. The traffic downtown here slowed up dramatically. I mean, it was awesome.
Well, it's all, but you have to think about all the construction that's going on in Bentonville right now. They got so much shut down, so many main arteries that are shut down for that new campus and everything else.
Yeah,
it's creating havoc, and there's bottlenecks everywhere.
Yeah.
I tell you, that intersection that they put in, dude, that crossing. Well, first off, I wasn't a fan of the roundabout, right? Like,
right.
Before we used to have that kind of flyover thing that went up 71, or you could you could go up on, 49, which was cool. But then they did the whole roundabout thing, which the roundabout thing, I mean, come on, man, it's Arkansas, dude. We don't, it's not like we're London. We grew up with roundabouts, man. So I don't get the whole, like, let's just start dropping roundabouts everywhere. Cause that creates a problem on top of it. Right.
I'm trying to think of that school down in southern Arkansas there, the private school. It's a town down there. I know you know the name of it. I can't think of it, but they got I'm not kidding, man. They got like 12 roundabouts in the city.
Oh my gosh, dude.
I can't think of it was a private college. I can't think of the name of it. Hendrix.
Oh, Hendrix College. Yeah.
What's the city that it's in? I always forget the name of the city. I know you know it, but any event, there's a shitload of roundabouts there, man. I mean, there's a ton of them.
It's not Russellville.
Conway, right?
Yep, Conway. Yeah. Yep, Conway. Yep. Yeah, dude, I just the whole roundabout thing. But now we've got this situation where we're like doing crossing traffic.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That right there, dude. I can tell you right after they opened that up, somebody came on the off ramp. It's like they were going to go to Bentonville, so they were going to go south. Yep. Blew right through there, man. I'm just like, somebody's going to get killed, dude. I mean, it's only a matter of time. Like, I don't get why they didn't just do, like, the amount of time that they were doing construction on that. You think that they would have done a right exit lane with the flyover. So you're not impeding traffic that's going southbound on 71. You want to hit 49, you just, it's a constant flow, right? And watch, they'll probably do another study and then go and do something like that in a couple of years. I mean, we're going to be like Texas, man, a perpetual state of construction.
It's and the growth's coming. When they get off the ramp, when you're taking a right back and heading 71 north, they come off that ramp, man, and they're flying, and the traffic is going northbound, and the southbound traffic, people are, I mean, just blowing by, just missing cars by like 2 feet, man. I'm like, holy mackerel. I mean, it's just a matter of time before someone runs into somebody down there.
Oh, Wendy brought up a valid point. We got so spoiled with everybody remote working, but I think, didn't Walmart say that everybody's coming back to the office a few months ago? So people are going back to working in the offices and stuff too. So that's creating an increase in traffic. We just got spoiled.
Yeah. My question is, how many people from Walmart are actually living in Bella Vista? I think a lot more are probably living in Bentonville and Rogers area than they are Bella Vista. I could be wrong. Maybe there is a lot.
No, you missed the memo, man. So if you live in Bentonville, you work in Fayetteville, and if you live in Fayetteville, you work in Bentonville. Okay, there is no. I mean, no, there's crazy. No other way. Okay.
Yeah. This is no logic, right?
That's a reality television show right there. It's just house swap. If you work, just find somebody and do a house swap. Continue to pay your mortgage. You can revoke it, with 90 days notice, but just do a house swap. And see how it works. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, the traffic's not that bad. You just got to know how to maneuver around it, man, or go earlier or go later. And it is what it is. But you're right. Another 4 or 5 years, man.
Yeah.
They're going to have to put another lane in it.
Well, so when I worked in Fayetteville, I was riding my motorcycle a lot, right? So, I mean, like, obviously you can kind of filter through traffic a little bit quicker on there. But I mean, like on 71, man, people would be, it would be backed up to like Dairy Queen sometimes, man. Just to get on the interstate and stuff. So like people would yell at me because I'd be doing the whole lane splitting thing. I didn't care. It's like, dude, I mean, I can zip through traffic, pretty quick. I know it. You're not supposed to do it. California, it's legal. Overseas, it's legal, man. But for some reason, we just don't do that in most states. Lane filtering like that. So, but I think that's how I was able to just get to work on time and not spend too much time. But obviously there's a risk involved with that too, especially in the wintertime.
Yeah, and Fayetteville's a lot bigger. I mean, you're looking at probably about 100,000 people, pretty close to that, So I don't think we'll ever be able to get to that here unless starting to open up the sewers. In
Bella Vista, they're gonna have to do something for the infrastructure in Bella Vista. I mean, like that's the when we were talking with Larry Wilms during that interview, I think he's pretty much the only candidate. When we asked him that pop question, right, about the you got $1 million grant or whatnot, what would you use it for, right? He applied it to possibly a water utility, which like I saw that as like, man, that's like you're thinking infrastructure of what we really need in Bella Vista, and that's water and sewer, right?
Right. And I like the idea, and I think Randy brought this up too, is having the industrial park, man. And if we get the infrastructure for the sewer systems and stuff, make it an industrial park, man. And like the
far east side of Bella Vista, next to that bypass, man. Would be a perfect opportunity for something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be perfect. It'd be bring in the tax base and
jobs. I think jobs on top of it. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. I think and it keeps it contained in one area. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you think about like all the work that they've been doing down in southern Arkansas, where they're doing the metals and stuff, right? That metal manufacturing company that I think the governor was touting out a few months back. Who was the other? There was a gun manufacturer that was coming. Was it Russian gun manufacturer that was coming?
Not sure.
To Arkansas, I think it was a year ago or so.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I think Remington or something.
Remington, did they leave Arkansas?
No,
Remington's down there outside of Jacksonville. So
okay, yeah, maybe one of them was up.
Yeah, I had a friend's wife that worked for him. They had an explosion and it was in the ammunition manufacturing plant. They had an explosion down there, and she was probably already eligible for retirement, but I think it shook her up enough to where she was like, "No, I'm done." She got into real estate as well. A lot of people getting into real estate, man.
Yeah, yeah.
That was
now's not the time to do it.
Well, that was a couple of years back. That was right before the boom, man. So
yeah,
that's why I know Remington's down there on the outside of Jacksonville. So
it's funny that you said that, because I used to work at Savage Arms. It's manufactured guns, and I used to work as a kid, and I used to clean the floors and all the metal shavings and stuff like that. But they used to go upstairs in the offices and clean the barrels of trash and mop the floors and stuff. But they had this whole conference room had all the guns there.
Oh wow!
I used to take them down, man. The pump action gun.
Playing Rambo, man.
Yeah, I'm playing around with it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like a kid would do. And there was a guy down the hall working late. He came down. I'm sitting there.
What are you doing, man? Yeah.
He just started laughing. I was so embarrassed, man. I'm like, oh, I'm done.
So we were in the field. I'm trying to think of where we were at. It was Fort Lewis, Washington, man. And we were doing this like 45-day joint task force brigade training, right? And they had the rapid deployment units and had signal command, and so I mean we were just miserable out there. You know, Washington State, you know, it rains all the time, man. So you're in muddy conditions and all that, right?
Right.
I mean, it's a tropical rainforest, and so you know we were getting a little stir crazy because we were waiting on our they called it index orders. And I think it went by like 3 days, man. And nobody fired a round, dude. You know, nobody fired. And we were using blank ammunition, right? But nobody fired one. Like, I think one night we were attacked, but it was so far on the outside of the battalion support area, like nobody from our division was even alerted to go and do anything. So, you know, you got my buddy Sean Hennessy. He had this. This is back when they were still using the M60s before they got the M249s. So we called it the Big Pig. And so we were waiting on the end exercise orders, man. And he just comes running out of the maintenance tent and he's like, just firing the M60 up in the air. People are freaking out and stuff, you know, because there's a helicopter flying over. And he's like, grrr, and the first one goes, what the? And then, like, you know, a couple other guys get in on it, right? So they're like, and he's like, enemy aircraft. And he's like, okay, you guys have been here too long. Pick up all your brass, put your stuff in the vehicle, and you guys go back and prepare for vehicles to come back in. We're going to be ending in a couple hours, guys. But like, they got an early break out of there, man. So we started packing up the maintenance till we got out of there. That was like the most Rambo moment I ever remembered in the Army, man, is him holding this M60 like this and his M16. God, it's just firing in the air like out of nowhere. Everybody was shocked. They didn't know what was going on, man.
Yeah.
You just like,
it's like what was that movie Predator? You remember that when they're in the jungle?
Oh yeah.
That was just classic, man. They have that. What is it? Is it Gatling gun? What is that?
That was a minigun. It was a minigun.
Okay.
Yeah,
that thing was just crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, a guy holding a minigun like that. I mean, that was basically those things are mounted to helicopters.
That was Jesse the Body, man, wasn't it?
Yeah, Mr. Conspiracy Theory himself, man. You know,
I ain't got time.
Later on, he won governor of Minnesota, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he was governor of Minnesota. Then he came out with those TV shows, you know, conspiracy theory TV shows.
Yeah, he was a big alien UFO guy, man. He loved that stuff. Yeah. You know.
Well, I remember him going to that HARP facility.
Actually, he was a Navy SEAL.
He was a Navy SEAL on top of it. Yeah, I think he's still kind of I don't know. I think he's a little out. I can't believe Minnesota, like, you know, put that guy in the governor's office, though, man. I think he was only a one-term governor, though. That's like Arnold becoming the governor of California, man. I think when they started going Mexico. South. Really?
I think he said he left the country. Yeah, he was going to Mexico. He had a house down in Mexico that he said he was going to live there, down there.
Jeez.
So.
Well, we've been live for 56 minutes, man. So I think we'll be able to get a good gauge of what's going on. Let me check our analytics real quick.
Yeah, we got to wrap it up shortly.
0.5% drop frames. So 0.5%, not even a whole percentage. So we'll go ahead and take this little live and we'll see what happened. And then we'll make an educated decision before we go live next week.
All right, man.
All right. Hey, thanks for hanging out and commenting and providing us with information. I hope everybody has a great rest of your weekend, and we'll talk with you next time we go live.
Take care, everybody.